What's shaking? It's bacon, and we have a lot to talk about. Now, Bungie in their latest weekly update just blew minds talking about weapon balancing and what they decided to change up with the weapons. It's a lot to cover, so I'm gonna have to break this up into parts. And they had to make this. They had to talk about this because players are at the boiling point. Us Crucible players especially are just so irritated with how the Crucible is right now, and they're doing their very best to fix it in a lot of ways, not just the things that we're yelling about, but things that are kind of gonna be a problem maybe towards the future and things like that. It's kind of just like a overall balancing, which is what I wanted. But some of these things are really interesting, so we're gonna have to delve deep in it. Now, first up, they give us a look at the Iron Banner and what weapons were mostly equipped by Guardians. And Thorn led the pack, of course, with 25%, over 25%, excuse me. And then right below it, all you people who said Red Death wasn't a killer, all you people who said Red Death wasn't a problem, boom, Red Death, second. Oh, you thought that was the last word? No, Red Death, boom, second. Which was kind of surprising to me now, because I thought that, the last word rose above it, but, I guess I was right for longer than I expected. So then right after is the last word, and then Hawkmoon, which is actually pretty surprising that Hawkmoon is there, considering it's only on one platform. So it did pretty good for itself. Now, this entire update has to do with weapon balancing, and Bungie decided to emphasize that they are hearing us. When we have a problem in game, you can bet that they're experiencing the same problem and it's coming to their desk. They look at these things and they see it. It's not like they're closing their ears la 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 until the problem goes away. They're actually seeing it, but they can't just attack the weapon immediately. They can't attack the problem immediately. It has to kind of build up, and then they can piece out what they want to destroy, affect and stuff like that. And I don't know, that's kind of weird to me. The fact that they have to wait for the entire problem, of multiple problems to blow up. So the meta has to basically be destroyed for them to rebuild it. I wasn't too fond of that. But then they carried on to say that they're going to be more transparent with these updates. They're going to talk more about weapon balancing in the future. After the Taken King or whatever, they're going to be talking about these things on a regularized basis, which really gets me happy. I'm just happy to hear something like this, because we do need something like this. We do need to know what's going on behind the scenes when it comes to Crucible, because sometimes what they plan to do might not be the best. It might be bad, and that's what's caused a lot of these problems, them not talking to us. But now that we kind of have a mutual communication thing going on, maybe we can dissolve these problems before they even arise. Now, one thing that they mentioned that wasn't related to weapon balancing was blink. Yeah, they want to make blink less effective. They want, well, not less effective, but less annoying to deal with. Because I remember back when I was training for the Trials of Osiris, way back with Skirmish, dudes were blinking like crazy, like shotgun blinks, just boom. And it was just so frustrating because there's a moment between the blink that you cannot hit them, and that was every time I tried to hit them. So to see that blink is getting a change, I'm intrigued. I want to see actual footage of it, how it's going to operate differently and what they plan to do with it. Two of the abused things in the meta that Bungie decided to focus on were tailored around Thorn and its rise during the Trials of Osiris and things like that, and the Fellwinter's Lie, which rose up because of the Iron Banner, and they decided to kind of put a big focus because of these weapons. So yeah, they're the poster boys of this entire update. For the remainder of this video, we're going to be talking about auto rifles, and every other weapon archetype will be in part 2 of this little update thingy. Bungie has decided to reevaluate the changes that they made to auto rifles in update 1.1.1, and they want to make it so that auto rifles emphasize their optimal range, which they decided should be close to mid, not long range, which was a problem prior to 1.1.1. Now, as most of us know, auto rifles are pretty much pea shooters at this point. Their damage in PvP is meh. Like, most of the times when you're trying to kill someone, they'll manage to run away even if their back is turned, which is not the best thing. Now, Bungie wants us to rely on the weapon stats to kind of alleviate those problems. So an auto rifle with better stability will be more reliable in close quarters combat, and that damage will be, more consistent. And for the range stat, you'll get better accuracy and damage at a distance. So if you want to pick off people who are a little bit further than your actual range that you can handle, maybe you want to invest in that stat. So they're increasing the base damage of all auto rifles, while also starting the damage fall off closer to the player so that it can emphasize its role as a close to mid-range weapon, which I think is fair. There's also a small reduction in the base stability, but that won't really be a problem if you stay within the range boundaries that your auto rifle is meant to be in. But to get like repeated precision shots will require a little bit more accuracy to hit them all consistently. And there will be a 10% damage boost against AI combatants, so that in PvE we'll be using more auto rifles. All in all, I think this is a great change. I can actually use more auto rifles in the Crucible, not that I don't already. I've been picking up these weapons that people have been saying, oh, it's garbage, it's not good, and just demolishing people's cheeks left and right. I mean, come on now. So if I can count on this weapon archetype even more, you best believe you're gonna see people getting their cheeks body in gameplays. Come on now. And that about wraps up this part of the video. I hope you'll like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will catch you in part 2.